quality terms, especially visually. It's not. It's way below the visual bar that we want to get to. That blending you see that dog. That's the place we want to get to, not some of the stuff that was in there. So let's go have a quick fly through of the Fable world. These are some of the locations we've already built. I want to talk a bit about those locations. There's no people in here. This is just the locations. So I want to talk a little bit about the gameplay. Right, for a start, does anyone remember Bowerstone from Fable 1? It was the main capital. When I say capital, it had about 30 buildings. It wasn't really a capital. Fable 2 is set 500 years further on. The world's changed. It's not so many heroes anymore. It's more about commerce and wealth. There's a lot about. It's set in a sort of highwayman era with guns and horses and carriages. So let's have a very quick look at Bowerstone now. We're trying to make a whole city. That's the castle. This is where the rich people live. Up here, this is the trading district where the sort of middle classes live, and then down here are the slums where you start the game. One of the cool features about Fable 2 is this, and there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Let's look at this thing here. One of the things that you can do is, in role-playing games, buying stuff is really important. Buying a bigger weapon is really important. Now, armour is really important. And I've always liked owning stuff, and I've always liked being wealthy, and I think that's really interesting. So you can buy this, and that, and you can start running a small business from these and getting money from it. Why don't we stop there? Why can't I buy this and put my family in it? Or this place here, a tavern. Why can't I own that tavern and run that tavern? In fact, why stop there? Why can't I? Let's just go back a frame and say, why can't I own? Where is it? I missed it. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's gone completely. It's very hard to do. Sorry. Let's see that actually. Why can't I buy that castle? In fact, why can't I buy every single building that you have access to in Fable? Every single temple, every single dungeon, every castle. Why can't I actually buy every stage that I play through this game? And that's what you can do. And there's a full economy simulation there. When you buy something, you unlock quests to do with that thing. You can be known as a grocer, you can be known as a landlord, you can end up as being mayor of the whole of Bowerstone, you can end up as being king or emperor. And that gives us an enormous amount of gameplay, an incredible amount of gameplay. And that's not one of our big features. That's just let's go on carry on flying through. So this is all to do with the city. This is one of the lanes. All this is full with life. We've got a full city simulation. I'm not so happy about the way that this is looking currently because it really needs lighting on there. And you can start seeing that it's a really lush green, very beautiful world that we're trying to build. Full of the heritage and history, full of a lot of hidden places, which I'm really hoping is really going to be interesting for you. Any questions about that or about anything? Can I do for time?
5 minutes.
Right. Any questions about Fable or anything like that? Or stuff? No? Yes? One question.
How far out do you think it is? I mean,
well, that's a very tough one to answer because we've got a lot of work left to do. There's a lot of work left to do with the engine. There's a lot of work, huge amount of work to do with the balancing of the game. And we are taking a very, very brave approach in terms of combat. The reason we're doing all this is that a lot of people bought Fable 1 for those wow, I'm going to get something different, and I really wanted them to feel that sense with Fable 2. You know, if I don't get it right this time, I shouldn't be making computer games, because I don't have time pressures. I've got a team who totally believes in what we're doing, and Microsoft totally believes it, so I've got no excuses this time. So the time's the difficult one. It's got, if this is not good, if this is not great, this one, then, you know, it's wrong. And sometimes you need to spend longer than you're scheduled just balancing and playing and polishing those bits. Any other questions? Yeah.
This isn't about a specific feature of Fable 2, but let's say just hit the nail on the head for Fable 2.
Yeah.
Hit every innovative day, like dime that you want, it's perfect. And the fan outcry is we want Fable 3 and we just want more of the same. Are you willing to make an uninnovative game?
It's a very tough question.
Thank you.
You know, I think this industry, this is why Lionhead exists, is for innovation. We didn't set up this company just to make the same game again and again. Other people do that very well. They do that exceptionally well. We did it because we felt that we could take, you know, brave steps. And if I believe that we've reached the high water level mark of this industry, of computer entertainment, I'm not going to be here anymore. I don't think we've even scratched the surface. And if I turned around in Fable 3 and said, what, you don't want this, this and this, you'd rather just have that? Then there's a lot of boring people in the world. Saying that, I mean, you know, I might well stand up and say, look, this is the greatest game we've ever made, it can't be at the top, I can't imagine it will be.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
How big is your team?
It is a really big team. It's been a really big team ever since we started. It was about 45 people when we started. That's very unique. I mean, previously it was like 10 people when we started. It's around about 70 people now, and it's going to be very soon going to be breaking through the 100 person barrier. There's a lot of work here, and the way we've oriented it, we've got, you know, the dog team is one. All they do is dog stuff, and then we've got the combat team. All they do is combat stuff. And a lot of these people are working, little tiny teams, really working hard on stuff.
So are you hiring?
Yeah, we're hiring. We're always hiring. Very, very smart, bright, clever, who are passionate. Those are the three. No, actually, passionate is first. If you've got passion, then you can do anything. Look at me, I'm stupid.
Do you plan to innovate as much with Xbox Live as some of these single player games?
I would love to tell you about that. And in previous years, I would have, you know, I would just be itching for someone to ask that question. I would love to tell you about it. What's the one thing that makes this generation different from the last one? It's not processor power, it's the fact that you're all connected.
Right.
And if you're going to build something...
I just want my dog to play with other people's dogs.
Exactly. That's not an announcement, by the way, of anything. But we'd be dumb not to consider some stuff like
Right.
that.
I think that's probably it before we get on to all of the stuff.
What does everyone think of the dog? Does anyone...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
like dogs?
I'm a little concerned about the dog as a dramatic device. A lot of times in narratives people use the dog as a less than human so that it's dispensable and can be used for drama.
It's interesting. What we found is that what we were talking about, the reason, it's not the dog himself, it's that you care about something.
Mm-hmm.
So the times when, and I don't want to talk specifically about this because it starts spoiling the story, but if he's been with you for a long time and you've become to get used to him and you understand him, and that's when you created that bond. And then when something happens, it then becomes that more dramatic. You know, this is where a computer game isn't like a film. Because it's very, very hard, even though we watched every Lassie film that there ever was, even though, you know, as a seasoned, hardened industry, 47-year-old veteran, I don't cry, of course not. But still, when Lassie was on, I, you know, would say, I've got to go to the bathroom now. And it is interesting how, you know, animals, this unconditional love that it gives you is infectious.
Mm.
So don't think of him as the main story arc, he's not. He's used in the story, and that use in the story means that if I can get